rolling. I was just chilling. Hello, I'm Mark Scalero, the owner of MS Classic Cars. Today I'm sitting behind the wheel of an absolutely spectacular 1976 Triumph TR6 Convertible. If you've been following MS Classic Cars, you know I only collect number 1 and number 2 condition vehicles. I'm very, very proud of our last Triumph TR6. Coincidentally, it was also a 1976. That vehicle was a survivor car with 5,600 original miles. It sold on Bring a Trailer. It was an awesome deal. Great car, great person who bought it. Just a great story. If you haven't seen that, make sure to check that out on our website, sold page at msclassiccars.com. Sitting behind the wheel of this car, I have to tell you this is almost the complete opposite of the car I just mentioned. This is the best Triumph TR6 I personally have ever seen. Many years ago, 2-3 years ago, I actually came across a TR6 that was advertised for sale that was in the condition of this car. I thought about it, and by the time I decided to purchase it, the gentleman had already sold it. So I promised myself if I had ever seen one that was restored to a high level of quality, I would go ahead and purchase it. This car came along, and that's exactly what I did. So to tell you a little bit about this car, I have 2 huge binders. At MS Classic Cars, what we do is we always take any information that is provided to us by the seller. We organize everything methodically in date order with plastic sleeves. I buy brand new binders like you see here. I have 2 of these with this car. So a lot of times we don't get a ton of information with vehicles. With this car, there is a ton of information. One thing I'm also going to touch base on is that every vehicle that we sell at MS Classic Cars goes through a very vigorous process. We start with the service department first. All of the service work that we do is documented with an invoice. Like on this car, we spent a total of $2,308.04 to be exact. That's parts and labor, so we've completely gone through this car. We're the only classic car dealership in the country who services everything we sell, and we document the work with an invoice. After the service process is completed, we bring it into the detail room, which is in the back of this building here, and we do an unbelievable job detailing these cars from top to bottom. Then, of course, we do really detailed descriptions. We take about 150 or more highly detailed photos, and then we do this video here today. So, getting into this car, this particular vehicle was professionally restored by a gentleman who acquired it in 2016. The vehicle was finished in late 2017. We do have some photos of the restoration. This was a car that was bought by the gentleman as an original car. It was a solid car, and it was the perfect candidate for him to do a restoration. It was truly a labor of love. The entire vehicle was taken down to a bare shell. There's going to be a few photos that we're going to include in our gallery. Again, make sure to check it out at msclassiccars.com. You can actually see how extensive the restoration of this car was. And during the restoration period, the gentleman made some decisions to make this more of a hot rod, if you will, Triumph. This is not a car for the person that wants a vehicle restored exactly the way that it came from the factory. This car is for a person that wants a show quality Triumph that has been slightly modified with some newer modern features, which I'll go over during this video. That's kind of what this car was designed for. Even the color, this car, as the original door tag indicates, this car was actually born British Racing Green. He wanted to change the color, make it pop a little bit more, and he picked this beautiful white. This is my personal favorite color, and of course the black top with the redline tires just looks outstanding. The car did have originally black interior. He kept the interior black. It's believed to have the original motor. And again, I'll get into that in a minute. So again, we have these binders that are included with tons and tons of receipts. I can't even tell you the amount of hours or dollars that was invested in this car. Our asking price is nowhere near the cost of the entire restoration. So let's get into the car. And before I forget to tell you, this is a non-rehearsed video. I don't take 3, 4, 5, 10 takes. This is my first take. Everything that I'm telling you today about the car is what I've gathered by doing all the information here. I personally handpick and purchase every vehicle that we buy. There's no consignments or anything like that. I own all the inventory. So again, feel very confident with what I'm telling you and feel confident with your purchase. Talking about the exterior first, the exterior of this vehicle is extremely beautiful. Again, it's in super show quality condition. The body is very straight. This car retains most of the original sheet metal, so it's got really good gap lines. The doors open and close beautifully. The trunk lid opens and closes beautifully. I can't say enough about the fit and finish of this body. These cars weren't exactly the best from the factory, so to get them to even be close to what this car is not an easy task, but this is definitely a really nice body. Talking about the paint is absolutely gorgeous. This is show quality paint. At MS Classic Cars, we detailed it to a brilliant shine. It looks spectacular. Everything on the exterior has been restored or replaced, which I thought was really cool, which a lot of people don't do for me when I purchase these vehicles. In this binder that I put together here, he goes over all of the things that were done during the restoration, all the way from what was done to the body and so forth. He goes into the interior, the cooling system, the engine, the transmission, etc. So everything on the outside has been restored or replaced. Again, certain things that were original he sent out to have re-chromed. Things that couldn't be saved were replaced. Even the 15-inch factory wheels were original to the vehicle. He had them completely refinished. He had them wrapped with brand new BF Goodrich Silvertown redline tires, which really make the exterior pop. So make sure to check it out in our gallery, the listing of what was done here. Everything is very self-explanatory. Again, even the windshield is brand spanking new. One thing I want to mention about this top, the reason we have the top up in this video is because most of our photos was taken with the top down. This has got to be one of the best tops that we've ever had for a classic car. It fits so tight and it's so nice. The original frame was taken off, it was gone through, disassembled, it was media blasted, it was painted, put back together, and then it was outfitted with this new vinyl top here, which again fits like a glove. All the snaps are in place. When it goes down, the boot fits it really well, nice and tight. Again, all the snaps are in place. You'll see that within our photo gallery. So that kind of sums up the exterior. Again, everything is in like new condition. Talking about the interior. This interior, the only way that I can describe it, it's like going back in time and sitting in a car that is brand spanking new in the showroom. Every piece of this interior, every piece of it, has been restored to the highest level. Talking about the rear view mirror, the sun visors here, they're nice and thick. It's got this beautiful dash. All the gauges are restored. They're all in working order, all the vents. The steering column was rebuilt. Your heating system was completely rebuilt. You open up this glove box door here, probably not able to see that with the camera, but even the light inside the glove box is in working order. It closes nicely. The seats were all redone. The seat frames were taken apart. They were media blasted. They were painted. The webbing in the seats was replaced. It was all upholstered brand new. The door panels, the carpeting, the shifter, it's just a brand new interior. This steering wheel in here is actually a Nardi steering wheel. This is a real classy steering wheel that matches this wood trim here. It's got the red Triumph horn button, which looks great. The sound system in this is actually a custom Kenwood AM/FM CD high definition radio head unit here that's great. They connected two high quality Kenwood 6x9 5-way speakers in the back that sound really good. They're in kind of a custom box. They're both sitting in individual boxes in the back there. Again, everything in the back is new. So it does have a little bit of a custom taste to the interior. There's also a 12-volt battery hookup here where you could plug in something like a cigarette lighter would normally be, so you can use that for whatever you desire. That was something that was added during the restoration. The trunk compartment was all done absolutely beautifully, just like the interior was. It even has a brand new carpeted trunk mat that reads Triumph in white that matches the exterior. That looks really nice. It does have a full spare back there that's matching. When I bought the vehicle, it actually didn't have that. We actually added a brand new setup back there, so it has a complete matching wheel and tire in case anything were ever to happen to these. It has the original jack tools and so forth as well. Again, make sure you check all this out on our website. Now, talking about the engine compartment, you will clearly see in the engine compartment, this is one of the most detailed TR6 engine bays I've ever seen. It is high show quality, to say the least. It's all been obviously painted the same color as the body. The 2.5 liter inline 6-cylinder is believed to be the original engine in this vehicle. During the restoration process, the engine was obviously completely rebuilt. Some of the engine internals were upgraded. The bore size, they added a cam, they did some work to the valves just to make the engine a little bit more beefier, and it really runs magnificent. It has a Delco alternator. It has an electronic ignition system made by Pertronics. It's got some really nice aftermarket wires. It even has a power light, high torque starter, so it starts easy. All the cooling system is brand new. The engine itself actually breathes through a ceramic header, which is really nice, and that header connects to a free flow Monza exhaust system. It's got the 4 chrome tips coming out the back. You'll hear when I gas it here after I start the car, it's got a really nice sound to it. So again, everything in the engine bay has been completely restored. Everything is new, everything is show quality. It really runs great. During the time that the engine was done, he also outfitted the car with an overdrive transmission. So the original transmission is long gone. He decided to replace it. Again, this is the J-type 4-speed overdrive transmission. Works great. I actually used the transmission overdrive a few times when I was driving the car after we serviced it. It really adds a little extra to the punch of the car. Feels really good when you're driving it and so forth. Talking about the undercarriage. The undercarriage was painted the same color as the body. It's absolutely beautiful underneath. It's definitely mirror quality. The entire steering system was rebuilt. The complete braking system was rebuilt. All the suspension was rebuilt. All the parts that weren't replaced were media blasted. They were painted. Even the frame, when the frame was off this car, even the inside of the frame was redone all beautifully and painted and everything else. So you really could not have done a Triumph in any better condition. This is definitely one of the best cars known to exist. We had a Triumph that I sold to a really good customer prior to the one that we just sold with 5,600 miles on it. That Triumph had won a ton of awards. It had beautiful paint, beautiful engine bay. The interior was very original, and the undercarriage had been undercoated. And that car won some pretty prestigious awards at Triumph shows. This car is at a whole nother higher level than what that car was. So I think if you spend some time on the internet searching for cars that have sold or current listings, you'll agree with me that finding a Triumph that's been done to this caliber is near impossible. I don't know if I'll ever have the opportunity to buy another one in this condition, especially with all these receipts and these binders. So this is your opportunity to get a car that has been completely restored, well sorted out. It only has test miles on it since completion, right here, right now. So we appreciate you watching this. For a complete description with tons of photos, make sure to visit it at msclassiccars.com. I'm going to go ahead and start the car right now, let you listen to how beautiful it runs. I just let this car warm up outside for about 2 minutes, so this is not a complete warm start. It's not a cold start, kind of just an in-between start. But I'll go ahead and turn it on now so you can hear it. Starts right up. You can see it idles, absolutely beautiful. It just sits here and it purrs like a kitten. I give it a few revs for you. Hear that exhaust system? It sounds so nice. So picture yourself with the top down, cruising on the road, giving this thing some gas as you're going around some corners. Really enjoy it. Appreciate you watching. Thank you.